Good morning, Prof. Peter.
Good morning. How are you this morning? Good to see you again. Hello.
Hello.
Great to see you again, everybody.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Today, hello.
Yes.
Hello, yes, we can hear you.
Today, my job is not to teach you. It's not to give you lecture. I hope you have you have learned my lecture on Monday, and you have learned also the tutorial that is is uploaded through Ola. I hope that you have learned it. And then now my job is to lead a discussion. I think the case has been learned by you. You have learned the case about lastly at Situbondo, okay. Now I want to give you question number 1. Of course, it's not a lecture, it is a discussion. Question number 1. Is Situbondo's court decision consistent with the nature of jurisprudence? Want to answer?
Can I answer?
Yes, sure.
Um,
You Aurelia, right? Aurelia Fitri.
yes.
Okay,
Yes,
please answer.
I believe that the Situbondo District Court decision is consistent with the nature of jurisprudence, because first we have to understand the definition of nature of jurisprudence, which is to focus on the coherent truth, and which means that we have to be consistent. So if there is a law that states that if you steal something, then there's this sanction, then we have to follow that. I think in this case, I know that it's a little bit tricky because of her age and also the amount of wood that was stolen. But I believe that at the same time, we have to erase that emotional perspective from us, and we have to follow the law, and we have to be consistent. Because if we are not consistent, then we might have another case where someone else steals the same amount of log, but is free because we gave Bu Amira a decision that is different from the law. So in my conclusion, I believe that we should stick on the coherent truth and be consistent.
Okay, that's it?
Yes.
Well, please, any respond? Any respond on the answer? Gabriel, please respond the answer. Whether you have the same answer, or perhaps you have the same answer but different argument, please.
Okay.
Okay.
Basically, I agree with Aurelia's statement about Aurelia answer about is court decision is consistent with the nature of jurisprudence. But for me, this one is not. They should be making a decision, and also punishment for this case is a little bit different because of the humanity. It's not always about the emotional, but we have to be equals. So the people, when stealing a lot of things, should be punished with the same amount. I mean, like, it's big amount, but it's only seven pieces of wood, and it's not worth than 2 millions. why they should be charged with 500 millions. I'm not agreeing with this, but in this case, a lot of the court in Sumatra are often not punishing the people who destroy and burning all the forests. And I don't think so. It's kind of same jurisprudence, or they just making a decision of, yeah, only subjective, not with objective. So that's my argument and opinion about this number one.
Gisela, come on.
So in my opinion, in jurisprudence, there is also a connection between law and morals. And in jurisprudence, law must be both just and fair. So I think this case is also fair because even though there was a maximum sentence of 5 years, considering Ibu Maur's case, she only got a short sentence of 1 year with some probation. It was quite fair and is consistent with the nature of jurisprudence.
That's it?
Yes.
Okay. Arya?
Yes. For me, I think the Situbondo, sorry, the Situbondo District Court decision is not as inconsistent with the nature of jurisprudence because, first of all, the nature of jurisprudence is prescriptive science, right? And then prescriptive science, the truth in prescriptive science is coherence truth, which is in the lot of ethics. And I think it's not ethical for the Situbondo District Court decision to impose a punishment on Bu Asyani because she just stole 7 pieces of wood. And in this case, the party that wants to punish Bu Asyani is a large state-owned company that earns billions of rupiahs every year. That is just not moral. I think for a company that earns a lot from wood to want to punish Bu Asyani, who just stole 7 pieces of wood from their forest. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I ask you, who punished Ibu Asyani? It is not a company who punished. The court did it. Well, I just want to ask you, if if she were set free, is it okay, Arya?
I think, well, yeah,
Okay,
that wouldn't be fair as well because, yeah, she still committed larceny, even though it's in small amount.
Okay. So, okay, any other comments on that? On the comment or the comment? Is there any other comment? Please.
Can I comment?
Oh, sure. Please.
So yeah, I agree with Arya's argument that she should have like a light sentence as her theft was only a small amount, but she did get a short sentence of only 1 year with 15-month probation, which I feel was light enough and just for her case.
So you say that it is consistent with your jurisprudence?
Yes, because it took into consideration the context of the person who commit the theft, and it took into consideration her age and her the amount she stole and gave her a minimum sentence.
Well, any other want to comment?
I'd also like to add something.
Okay.
I think the amount itself shouldn't be like a determination whether she should be free of punishment or not, because we have to take into consideration that there's Article 12 in conjunction with Article 18 of Act number 18 of 2013 on the prevention and eradication of forest destruction, which doesn't state any amount of log or wood that is stolen. It just states that if someone does take wood from the forest, that person will be given a sanction. So I think the amount of wood itself, whether it's 7 or 5, I don't think it should mean that the person that did it should be free. So I think it's on the act itself.
Okay, fine. Any other argument?
Can I add
Please
something?
challenge. Who?
Me, Gabriel.
Okay,
Okay.
please challenge the argument.
Before the what's the name? The court is saying this woman is taking wood from the what better wait a second.
Perhutani.
Yeah, better Perhutani. But she has a what's the name? To say that the 7 piece of wood is her own wood. So I don't think so. If this woman taking the wood from the forest, because I think in Situ Bondo, a lot of what the name is backyard is still be wide enough to plant a big tree. So if they say they stole it, it's not made logical. That's it.
But you know, Gabriel, it is the fact that the police caught her. It is a fact. It is not. It is not the my story or what I only my imagination. No, it is the fact.
Yeah,
It is the fact.
I have read it in 2016.
Yeah, no. It's a fact, and it's the real case. It is the real case, and you know, the judge who sentenced her consult to me. Well, okay. Well, and then also the police who examined Ibu Asyani was a candidate doctor at that time at Airlangga University under my supervision. But now he is he's a doctor of law. And at the time he was called by Vice National Police Chief Badrun Haiti at the time. He was known to Jakarta, and he explained that this is the case like that. Okay, it is not science fiction. Sorry.
Yeah, I know it. It's a real case.
It's real case.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've read.
You, Kayla. You have comment on it, Kayla? Kalia or Kala? Nazawa, you.
Okay. For me,
Your name is
Kalila.
Kalila.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
For me, I do agree with what Aurelia said. So it doesn't matter whether the amount of a wood is just 7 or maybe lots of it, more than 7. she should be tried. But looking from the moral side, I do think that we should we should think about what is the purpose of Asiani. Yeah. What's the purpose of her? What's her purpose for taking those wood? And I do think that she have her own reason, probably personal reason. It could be about economically or something. So I do think that the court should make the should, I don't know what to say. Wait.
Okay. To consider, you mean?
Okay, I think that's it.
To consider. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Diva? You know, diver or diva?
Diva, sir.
Diva. Okay, come on. What's your command?
I think the Asian is considered with the nature of jurisprudence because jurisprudence a high-level court decision on a matter, not formally binding. The decision has a strong practical effect. It's just not they stole a 7 vote. I don't. Yes, I think so.
Okay, fine. That's it?
Yes.
Iksan.
Yeah, so I think the Situbondo District Court decision is already consistent with the nature of jurisprudence because there's already a legal basis that take care of this kind of cases. And I think if we didn't follow the legal basis, it can be a motivation to other to do this kind of crime and use the same reason as the Miss Muasaris. Thank you.
That's all?
Yeah.
That's all?
That's all for me.
Well, Herpandu. Herpandu.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Come on.
Whatever is Asiani takes 7 pieces of wood or less or more than that, it is just a crime, sir. Because she want to, she being charged with stealing. And in the eyes of the law, this act was still a crime against death. However, she want to steal it.
Yeah.
And that's against the law. That's all. Thank you.
That's all. Bimo Prakoso. You know Bimo means?
Yeah. Bima.
Bimo, yeah? Come on.
Yeah.
Berkudoro.
Yeah.
Berkudoro.
Yeah. Okay.
Brontoseno.
It's a basically traditional Java culture heroes. So yeah, that's my name. So in my opinion, in my opinion about this case, based on Article 362 for the Penal Code, whoever takes good, either wholly or partly, belongs to another in manner contrary to the law with the intent to confit its owner, therefore will be punished because of latency by up to 5 year imprisonment or up to 900 rupiah fine. I think because of that penal code, no matter how amounts that the Mrs. Sorry, I forget the name.
Ibu Asiani.
Oh yeah, Mrs. Asiani tax. it's still a crime. It's still charged as a crime. So I think it is true. It is right to charge Ms. Asyani to 5 years in prison. I think that's all.
That's all.
Yeah.
Nizam, come on.
Yes, sir. So I think, in my opinion, the Situbondo District Court decision is consistent with the nature of jurisprudence, following the article of pursuant to Article 12 in conjunction with Article 18 of Act Number 18 of 2013 on the prevention of eradication of forced destruction, because it's an article is already official. So anybody, not just Miss Asyani or any others that has done the same thing, will be taken into account by the court. However, I think we need to see the nature way in the human rights thing. Maybe before there wasn't any company on her area, so then she has the purpose to take the wood before, but then the company is built, and she doesn't know about the company. So after that, when the court is taken, when the court takes Ms. Asyani to this account, so then she probably, it's in a moral way, she needs to be addressed. So other person other than Ms. Asyani can other person than Ms. Asyani couldn't be doing it again in the future. I think that's my opinion.
Now, Kenya?
Yes.
Kenya Maharani?
So,
What do you think about that?
in my opinion, well, I agree with the claim of crime will still be a crime, even even though how small it is, and it is obligated to actually apply the condition of law that is prevail at the time to be able to implement the law properly. But we also need consideration, because of the factor that actually make her do the crime itself. We have to consider what factors that cause her to steal. It might not be what she wanted, but she might not have the acknowledgement that that is from a big company. So
that's all?
Yes.
Okay. Xiang.
Yes.
Is it right that I call you Xiang?
Yes, sir. You can call me
Xiang.
So, in my opinion, just like I also agree with what Herpandu and Hisham said earlier, that the Situbondo districts is pretty consistent with their nature of jurisprudence, because I think it's not about the amount of the wood she took, but it's about the law itself and how it's applied in Situbondo. But in terms of the morale and the humanity, I think she deserves a consideration from the court. Yeah, so that's what I think.
Great. Next, Razan Gali.
Yes, sir. So, my opinion towards this discussion is that she is guilty. I agree that she is guilty for stealing the wood from PT Perkuliahan. But in this case, we should the court should rethink about to punish her because of the factor of her age and for the sake of humanism. For me, if we are going to punish her, think about the factors that she did it. Maybe not 1 year, maybe not a 15 months probation. I do agree we need to punish her because she did steal, but there are many factors to think about before punishing her for a 1 year and 15-month probation. So, yeah.
Well, that's all. Is there anyone who has not answered the question, who has not given a comment? No one? Who? Everybody has given a comment on that. Okay, now I will explain to you that the keyword is that what Aurelia has told us that in jurisprudence, the truth is which is obtained is coherence. Coherence. So the question is the bonus record is in consistent with the nature of jurisprudence? Sure. Sure. About moral and humanism, we can think it over. But in fact, it is consistent with the nature of jurisprudence. Jurisprudence seeks the coherence truth instead of correspondence truth. Okay, this is coherence. Well, I'm satisfied with your comments. I think it is good. I think it is good. Second question is the NGO and activist demand in conformity with the nature? Okay, wants to answer. Okay, please. Okay. Please answer.
Okay, can I answer?
Okay, sure. Who?
First.
Okay, come on.
Kayla first.
Aurelia again.
Okay, so
who
can I speak, sir?
Okay, please answer.
Okay, so in my opinion, the nature of jurisprudence, in accordance to the natural law school of thought in jurisprudence, is that morality and reasoning from this is taken into consideration. So we have to take into consideration the coherence truth, which the context and the beliefs that is attached to the case. So the NGO that is calling for her not to be tried for the sake of her age and humanism is consistent to the jurisprudence, as they are taking into consideration her context and her situation, such as her age and why she stole it. Yeah.
Who wants to challenge or support the argument, please?
Yes, I also agree with what Kayla said, because jurisprudence is not only focusing on the coherence truth, but it's also about justice and wisdom. And in the situation of Bu Asyani, she believes that it was her land. She believes that it was her land, even though in fact it was actually the PT Perhutani's land, but she believes that it was her land and she wants justice. So I believe that the fact that the NGO and activists are demanding for her to be free is in the same line with the nature of jurisprudence, because they're fighting for justice for her and also for wisdom, even though in fact it's actually she's actually also wrong, but from her perspective she's also fighting for justice.
Well, any other? Please give comment. This is discussion.
Can I speak, sir?
Sure.
So for me, I agree with both Kayla's and Aurelia's statement, because again, the nature of jurisprudence takes into consideration justice and then moral and wisdom and humanity. So I think what the NGOs and activists advocated for in this case is in line with the nature of jurisprudence, that because Bu Asyani's case is, I think, it's a little bit complex because there's a lot of factors involved, including her age, and then her true intentions is unrevealed. Maybe Bu Asyani did not intend to steal, but she thinks it's her wood. So I think what the NGOs and the activists advocated for Bu Asyani is in line with the nature of jurisprudence, that is moral and justice seeking. Thank you.
Next, Who else? Who else? Please.
Okay,
Gabriel.
for me, NGO is not conformity with the nature of jurisprudence, and I'm agree with the three people before me that saying that it's in line with the nature of jurisprudence in aspect of being what the name of not how say adil in
Just. You mean just?
Yeah,
Adil, just?
Yeah, just for
Just.
the ASEAN itself, but in aspect of the coherence, it's a little bit conformity because it's not in line with the articles which given to the ASEAN. So I think it's in line with the other aspect, but in this case, it's sometimes not in line with the other one. So there is using two aspects of this case. Thank you.
Okay, so you don't agree with the three before you that they said
I'm agree, sir.
You agree?
I do agree. Yeah, I do agree. Yeah, but I add something that little if we are saying this question number 2 from different perspective and aspect, it will be quite different. But in the aspect of justice, it's in line with the nature of jurisprudence.
Okay, next, who else? Please give comment. This is open discussion. Okay. Well. Okay. No one wants to be volunteer?
I think I want to add a comment on this discussion. I think the NGO and activists is comfortable with the nature of jurisprudence because jurisprudence analyzes legal concept and it also tries to find out the essential of principle of law. It's not only analyze the new rule which already known, but it's also analyze and set the foundation of new rules. And they are having a freedom to access, analyze, and speculate about the legal system. And it sets the tone for reformation of the law. Thank you.
Okay. Who else, please? Please. Please give comment. Who? Wow. If I have to assign. Herpandu, which one? Herpandu? Yeah,
yes.
Okay, please.
In my opinion, I agree with the NGO, which we look for the aspect of humanism due to her age and for the age of humanism for herself. And but in my other opinion, ASEAN was tried to steal that, however. So I can get a kesimpulan.
Conclusion.
Yeah. Yes. The conclusion of my opinion. I'm so confused on this.
Okay. It is you're honest. Please be careful. In jurisprudence or in study of law, there's nothing become yes or no at the same time. Yes and no at the same time, sorry. But if you say yes or no, there's no the third possibility. There's no third possibility. In what we call in sophisticated language, it is non tertium datur. It is Latin. There's no third possibility. Yes or no. It cannot be yes and no at the same time. Okay? So if you are confused, okay, fine. It is honest. It is honest. You are honest. Okay. Well, Kalila, please, you give comment on that. Okay, I cannot hear your voice. Kalila.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah, I hear.
Hello.
Yes, please. Please, come on.
Okay, so I do agree with the statement of the people before me, which is looking from the aspect of humanism, justice and moral. Even though it's not in line with the written law, but it still violates the law itself. So I think that the NGO and activist supporting ASEANI is right, because for me, myself, and we as people, as humans, same as ASEANI, would also think that we should look from the what is her true purpose. So yeah.
Okay, that's it?
Yeah, that's it.
Wow, now, Bimo, please, Merkudoro.
Okay. So I think let me be crystal clear here. I think I agree with a statement that Aurelia gave. If jurisprudence is not only a coherence, it's also there is a morality and the other. So I think I'm agree with the statement of Aurelia gave. So I think the NGO activities is are already coherent too. I think, and we also need to consider about the age of the Mrs. Okay, sorry, I forget the name again. Mrs. Sorry, Prof.
Asiani.
Yeah, Mrs. Asiani. Okay, for the Mrs. Asiani, and then yeah, I think that's all.
That's all?
Yeah.
Izam, please.
Okay, so sir, my opinion is the right thing for NGO and the activists demand conformity with the nature of jurisprudence because it's their right, and viewing in morality, humanities, and wisdom. It's everyone's right to see what's really going on. Since Miss Asiani is haven't seen what's her purpose, her age. It's their right to demand conformity to the court. But then in the other hand, looking from the coherent of jurisprudence, I think it's the right thing to follow the article of the 5-year imprisonment. But in conclusion, what the court has done to decrease the amount of imprisonment to 1 year and 5 months, I think, and 15 months of probation of 15 months is the right thing. I think that's my opinion.
So? And you, Kania, Marani? What's your comment on the on commands?
My comment is that I agree with the previous statement that have been stated before regarding about the ethical.
Please louder. I cannot hear your voice.
Wait. Okay. Sorry. So I agree on what previous statement said about morality.
It's okay.
And regarding about the ethical law that have been stated. And I must say, beside law enforcement itself, there's like the ethic that have been suggested to follow. And I said that it is the right thing to follow in line with the nature of jurisprudence, that we are seeking the truth and we must see the bigger picture and the form itself. But we have to also be focused on the context in detail. That's it from me.
Okay. Wants to respond? Ratsan?
Oh, okay.
Ratsan Gali?
Yeah, okay, sir. I agree with the statement. I agree with everyone's statement that the NGO and activists demand in conformity for with the nature of jurisprudence because Miss Asiani, is it correct? Miss Asiani? Prof?
Yeah.
Okay. So I agree because of Miss Asiani's Miss Asiani's age and what her did and everything, and but I'm still how do I say this? I'm still confused of how I can make a conclusion in this. I'm still confused of making a conclusion because yeah, I'm still confused basically. Still confused with this case. So
okay, fine. Iksan, you? Iksan?
Me? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the NGO activist demand is conformity with the nature of jurisprudence, because jurisprudence analyzes legal concept and it also tries to point out the essential of principle of law. It's not only analyze the rule which already known, but it's also analyze the foundation of the new rules. They are having a freedom to access, analyze, and speculate about the legal system. I think it sets the tone for reformation of the law. That's for me.
That's it?
Yeah.
Well, Shang, please.
Yes. So I personally think that I also agree with the people before me, because I think the NGO is giving the demands, because as I said from my previous statement, we have to take into considerations on her actions and her intentions or her purpose. But from the Article 18 of the Act number 18, she still violates, and she's still breaking the law. So, but me personally, I do think that she deserves justice considering her age and the purpose of her decisions. I think that's all for me.
It's Stella. Okay, Stella.
Sorry? Yes.
Stella, please. Okay, Gisela, please. Yeah. Gisela, please.
Yes.
Okay.
Can you repeat your question?
Is the NGO and activist demand in conformity with the nature of jurisprudence?
Yes, because
Yes, what?
Because with the natural law school of thought, in jurisprudence, morality and reasoning from the case is taken into consideration. So, as I said before, when the NGO is calling for her not to be tried in the sake of her age and humanity, it is consistent to jurisprudence because they are taking into consideration her context, her intentions, and how it affects her case. Yeah.
Is it all? Is it all?
Yes.
That's it? Yes. Okay, the last is Diva. Diva, please.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I think I agree about the statement. The NGO and other activists demand that the police release her. They call for Asiani not to be tried because of her age and for the sake of humanity. Moreover, her only stole 7 pieces of wood, and Asiani from the elite criminal trade, considering that the legal process, that I can be conclusion that NGO claims to the Situ Bondo Court are inconsistent, and Asiani was proven to have taken wood without the permit according to law.
Okay, fine. Wow, okay. Now let's read the question again. Is the NGO and activist demand in conformity with the nature of jurisprudence? What is the demand of NGO and activists? They want that Ibu Asiani release from their police arrest. They wanted that Ibu Asiani be not tried. So please be careful. These questions are quite the opposites. If you say this is consistent with jurisprudence, it is yes, but it is not consistent with the nature of jurisprudence. It is in conformity. It is not in conformity with the nature of jurisprudence, because NGO and activists based their demands on social consideration instead of a legal consideration. So their demand is not in conformity with the nature of jurisprudence. They have to try to find what we say correspondent theory of truth, correspondent truth, instead of coherence truth. So their demand is not consistent with the nature of jurisprudence, because the nature of jurisprudence is seeking the coherence truth. So if this question is consistent with the nature of jurisprudence, this one is not consistent because they are contradictory. They are contradictory. Okay? As I've told you before, that in law or in jurisprudence, there is no third possibility. Yes or no. It can be yes and no at the same time. Yes or no. There's no third possibility. Tertium non datur. Someone cannot be declared guilty and not guilty at the same time. If one is proof as to have a committed crime, maybe he or she will be declared guilty. Guilty and not guilty cannot be imposed at the same time. Okay? So these questions are contradictory. Is it very tricky? Yes, I have to make question as tricky as possible. It's very tricky. Please be careful. If you are a lawyer in the future, you have to do that. Okay? Well, next question. Should the NGO and activist demand be taken into account in studying law? Come on, please. Wants to answer this question?
Can I answer this question?
Okay, sure, please.
So the NGO and the activists' demand, like you said before, we have to remember that the demand is to set her free. And so if it's to take account of the demand, then we shouldn't, I don't think that it should be taken into account studying law. I think what should be taken into consideration is the length of punishment of Bu Asyani. So I think that freeing her, I think is not right, but I think that what should be taken into consideration when it comes to studying law is the punishment of how long will she be punished, if 1 year is too much, or if it should be less than 1 year. But for the demand, I think that it shouldn't be taken into account, because if it does, if, for example, if it's allowed for people to take 7 wood and not be punished, then it won't just only apply to Bu Asyani, right? It will also apply to other people, and so other people will be free into taking and stealing wood as well.
Okay, please challenge or support your argument. Come on.
I support.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm agree with Aurelia say that should not be free. I mean, for Asyani, it shouldn't be free as long as she is wrong by stealing the wood, and which NGO and activists supposed to demand is about the length of the punishment give. It's maybe less than 1 year because of the old, this is old woman, and because it's age, it's not really ethics if we are make it the same with the young people, and it's about all the mental health, mental health, and also if NGO and activism demand to free Bu Asyani, it's not will give a something to learn by the other person who's told the same thing or doing a criminals, and for them it make the court it's weak and can be played by the people with the same reason. So I need to say that Bu Asyani still need to be punished, and NGO should be fight for the length of the punishment. Okay, thank you.
Okay, next, please. Okay. Wants to argue?
Want to add something? Sure.
Okay, please.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with people before me. I don't think if no, because if the demand is taken into account, I think it wouldn't be fair considering the amount of the wood she stole. Yeah. So, and I also agree. Instead, what should be changed is the length of the punishment. But on the other hand, I also think if the NGO and the activists demanded her to be released, and if she's released, then I think the nature of jurisprudence of the Situbondo District Court is also not consistent with their law. Yes, I think that's all from me.
Okay. Next, please.
Can I answer?
Sure, sure.
Okay, so I agree with the three previous statements regarding the case, that in this case, the NGOs and activists' demand should not be taken into consideration because they advocate for the dismissal of the case. So they're asking for this case to be completely dismissed, and that Ms. Asiani, Bu Asiani should not be punished at all. I agree that in this case, the NGOs and activists' demands should be not taken into account. But the question says in studying law, and I think generally in studying law, NGOs and activists' demands should be taken into consideration because we as law students, we deal with people's lives. It's dealing with the social realm, and our aim is to uphold justice and fairness, but at the same time, it has to be moral and ethical. And I think NGOs and activists' demands helps us to understand social issues, moral issues, and ethical issues. So if, for example, the NGOs and activists demand Bu Asiani to receive a lighter sentence, then of course it should be taken into account. So in general, in studying law, I think it's very resourceful if we use NGOs and activists' demands as to benchmark our morality, for example. Thank you.
So you agree if we study law, we have to take account what NGO and activists demand. Do you agree, Arya?
Yes, in studying law, yes.
In studying law.
Yes.
Well, next, please give comment on that.
To Arya's statement.
Sure.
So I agree that in studying, you have to take into account different perspective and different opinions so we can get the full scope of the situation, so we can see different people's opinions, so not our own personal biases, and we can, from all those opinions, we can come to a better and more just decision.
Okay. Another, please. Please.
I would like to comment. I would like.
Sure. Okay. Who? Okay, please.
May I start?
Want to share the idea?
What I could take from the context is that I couldn't take the demand of removing the punish itself. Of course, the crime should have been punished, but it have to be learned and also observed by the study of law and ethic to differ and like to distinguish between law, ethic, and then etiquette, and to see like the professional codes of ethic. Also to stand up for the rights, but treating the responsibility, and also to expect a favorable outcome without actually ruining the law itself. That's
okay. That's it?
Yes.
Okay. Please. Please, next.
Me.
Next, please. Okay, Diva.
Yes, I have. I
Yeah,
should know
you have to.
The demand be taken into account in studying law because NGO claims nature of jurisprudence because the nature jurisprudence is want to need a real fact, while the claims for NGO are based on accusation that the assignee was proven to have taken wood without a permit according to law.
Well, Max, please.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Can I
sir.
answer? Oh, yeah. Go
You
on.
first, Isam. You first.
Okay, please.
Okay. So I think the demand shouldn't be taken into the court, but into studying law also, because their demands to be free her from the criminal itself. She has done something wrong to the people. I mean, not to the people, to the company, which is which is explained in the article. Forced eradication of forced destruction and getting 5-year imprisonment. I think that's the right thing to do, because criminal is a criminal. They couldn't be released because of her age or something. But since since she is an old woman, maybe the length of the imprisonment can be decreased. I think that's my opinion, sir.
Herpandu now.
Yes, sir. Prof. Peter said the nature of jurisprudence is based on coherent truth, and it cannot be imposed. Once again, guilty cannot be imposed. So, in my opinion, Ms. Asiani have to serve the punishment, and the NGO and activist demand cannot be taken into account. That's all. Thank you.
So, well, now, Bimo.
Okay. I think we can release her without any charge, because of if we release her without any charge, it might be another person to stole another law from that company, right? I think we just need to consider and decrease the punishment rather than just release her that she is not being charged and freely go out from the jail. I think that's all.
Ratsan?
So I would say I would agree with everyone's statement for me that that Miss Asiani should be decreased. Her punishment should be decreased, and because that we are in a law, we should be really realizing that. Apa sih namanya? Sorry, that. Sorry. That Miss Asiani should be decreased, by her punishment should be decreased, and that the NGO and the activists should not be taken to law, should not be taken to court as well, and that's it.
Is it all? Is it all?
I will add a comment. So,
okay.
I think the NGO demand should be taken to account to studying law, because studying law is not only analyze the rule which already known, but it also analyze and set the foundation of new rules. And jurisprudence provide the solution for the multidimensional problem of law, and it help overall progress of the society. There are many times where there are gaps in law. During those time, just follow the jurisprudence, and jurisprudence is the theoretically basis of the law. And I think studying the NGO demand could help to be a consideration for future cases. Thank you. So,
is there anyone who has not given the response on that? Okay, fine. Well, it will finish the session. Well, the question is, should the NGO and activist demand be taken into account in studying law? Well, we have to know that studying law should there's in jurisprudence, there's also sociological jurisprudence, in which we have to take account of social factors like economy, and politics and culture. We have to take account of it. But in this case, that NGO and activists need that Ibu Asyani released from the charge. I think it is undesirable. It cannot be taken into account. But in studying law, we have to study everything, but not in this way. Okay, in studying law, we have to study many other subject matter. But I think in considering to give a punishment, that should be taken, social factors should be taken into it. What is we call ratio decidendi. But I think in studying law, we don't have to take account about what the NGO and activists demand, because otherwise we may not be consistent with our subject matter jurisprudence. Okay, this is my answer, and this is the time to terminate this session. Thank you very much. I think it's my impression that all of you have a good answer and good response to the question. Okay, see you on Monday with my lecture. Okay, see you then. Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Thank you
Prof.
very much.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Wih, enak ya. Okay.
Wow, that was fast.
I thought that there would be like
Udah.
2 pertanyaan
Kok
lagi.
cepet?
Yeah, I thought.
Loh, cuma 3.
Exactly.
Loh, bukannya ada 5 ya?
Waktunya nggak cukup nih. Waktunya soalnya 10.20 kalau nggak salah tadi.
Oh, cuma 10.20.
Iya.
That was
biasanya.
Tak kira 11.10.
Sama, saya juga
10.20. Dan di KRS 10 apa 10.20 gitu.
Iya. Loh, kalau ini apa tutorial cuma bentar.
Nggak ngerti deh.
Lama
Ya enak lah.
Aku
Ayo.
bingung yang ketiga tadi. Belum dapat jawabannya aku.
It's okay.